Kombat.
Zoom delayed the sound or muted you, so I don't have no idea what the fuck you just said.
I said Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
First released on October 8 in 1991. We'll get into why I said that in a moment. But first, hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, what is happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? I'm sorry about that clap. It is I, the sublimely magnificent, big ugly himself, Omari Ellis, Feo Grande on YouTube, sometimes referred to Pete as Pete on this show. And this is an episode of Whatever We Want podcast, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host and running mate, one of my best friends in the world, he who bears watching Super Jazz.
That's right, everybody. What's going on? Like you said, I am the other host of the show. I go by the name of Jazz or Super Jazz or SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you, and the like. And as my colleague so eloquently put it, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they move sign on.
Even if we got a new sign on, but every Wednesday.
Everywhere they may, yeah.
Yes, sir. That's right. So new sign-on thing for those of y'all who's your first show and you're like, why the fuck did this dude just start with Mortal Kombat? What is this geek on about? So we got this thing that Jazz started a while back, where for the little intros of the show, he started with song quotes. Oh, not song quotes. Movie scripts. Movie quotes. He started with movie quotes, and he was going alphabetical order. Started with H.
Because I meant to start with A, but didn't think when I did Hasta La Vista. Yeah, that started with H. Anyway.
Yes. So imagine if you started with Django because you thought it started with
a J instead of a D.
Yeah.
Okay,
but so Hasta La Vista. Anyway, and then I did song lyrics, and then Jazz made it a competition to continue it. And then he was like, what did you do after I did song lyrics?
Movie quotes? I did wrestling quotes or something.
Wrestling quotes. Yeah, it was movie quotes, song lyrics, wrestling quotes, X-Men characters, tongue twisters.
Yeah, and now
fighting game series.
So you're just gonna say the series, and then when it
when it debuted.
So you're not just saying a solo game. You're gonna look for a fucking franchise.
I mean, if the franchise is one game long on a weird obscure character, then obscure letter, then sure, I'll do that one game. But if it's a series, I'm not gonna be like Mortal Kombat Deception, or not gonna be Deception, a Mortal Kombat game for D.
But are you trying to more so look for
series and stuff? Yeah, series and franchises
instead of one-offs.
Yeah,
so I know what you're gonna say for you.
Yeah, so do I.
What are you gonna say?
Find out when we get to you, motherfucker.
Can I guess right now?
Sure.
Uncharted.
For fighting game series.
Oh, fighting games.
Yeah.
I miss you saying fighting, my bad.
Also, I didn't play any of the Uncharted games.
So I don't know what the fuck fighting games are for you.
Aha. So find out when we get to you.
And I mean, obviously you're not gonna say it, but it's a series, it's not a one-off?
Technically it's a series by now. Because they keep changing the patches keep having different names. It might as well be a series.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
You want me to guess it?
Sure.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, some shit.
No.
The fact that when you said technically it's a series by now because they've had a few Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcoms. Okay. All right. Well, then I don't know. Okay.
All right. Anyway. That's what I'm doing. So I started with Mortal Kombat. I thought about starting with Marvel vs. Capcom too, but I figured starting the thing off with screaming Mortal Kombat just made sense. You know.
It Zoom made it where I didn't hear what you said, so I had to ruin the flow. I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, I
But
went with
still,
Mortal Kombat, and the only reason I did Mortal Kombat like that is because, well, it's Mortal Kombat. But yeah, fighting games are fun. Um, this is our third episode of the new year.
is it?
I want to say it's our third episode of the new year.
Well, shit. What was
Meantime-
last week? What was last week?
Last week was the 10th.
10th. And then third. Yeah. So this would be yeah.
Yeah. This is our third episode of the year. What a difference a week makes. We forget things. That's what happens when you get older. So
as young
I'm
as you
pretty
feel.
sure, yeah, as I feel.
So what you
So I'm a hearty 105.
Right.
Could you imagine?
Bruh, you need to go to therapy, both mental and physical. Good lord. You fucking in your like, well, I'm not gonna say age you don't do, but you clearly not. And fucking talk about you feel like you 105.
I don't feel like
Lord.
I'm 105 either. It was
I know.
more for a joke, but yeah. That said, I mentioned getting Diamond and Street Fighter 6. Speaking of fighting games, I need to, and I have by now. I'm trying out DNF Duel. It's based off of the game series Dungeon Fighter Online. Don't know a lot about that series, but I know DNF Duel is a fighting game made with characters from that, obviously, and it's made by 8inc, or produced by 8inc, who helped produce Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Dungeon Knights at Freddy's.
Yeah, not Dungeon Fighter, but Dungeon
I had to
Knights
get
at
that out.
Freddy's.
It was burning my lips. I had to say that shit, no matter how corny it was. I had to. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. As you were.
Try that game out because I got it for free on Epic Game Store in December. One day they just randomly had it for free, and so it was like, okay, man, that's an excuse to get it without having to pay like $70. Well, 60, 70, fucking video game price.
Oh, okay. I was saying normally
The price of a full price game. Yeah, games have finally started to catch up and adjust for inflation, so now they're at 70. And
you
then
an avid gamer, how do you feel about that?
that they finally adjusted for inflation.
Like it is what it is.
Yep. I'm not one of these people who's like, no game should ever be $70. Now, the same games that I was mad for them charging full price for in the past, I'd be mad for them charging full price for now. If an incomplete game is an incomplete game, a complete game should be charged what complete games are being charged. And if 70 is the standard now, I hate it. But 90 was the standard in the 90s, so
No, was it?
you should look at some old fucking ads and stuff. 60, 70, 90, some games 90, yeah. No, games were expensive
I
back in the day.
remember we were coming up and like
Yeah.
64 and PlayStation shit was like 50.
Yeah, when we didn't have to pay for our own shit, everything looked cheaper. But like
But no, I
Super
remember
Nintendo and shit,
remember
I'm
shit
talking
was-
Super Nintendo shit was
Yeah,
like
what the fuck?
70, 60, 70. Yeah, no, some of those old sales circulars, you'll see like some $90 things, like if it was real mainstream, because there was less of a normalization. So I guess 70 would be more the standard back then, but 90 definitely happened for your like AAA titles.
Holy shit, because in 90 back then
Yeah, no,
is the equivalent to
remember-
like 110 now. Or
Remember,
something.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis were status symbols to rap about.
Bed broke, man. I couldn't picture this fact.
Like, we didn't notice it because, well, we were single digits and weren't buying Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games, but now I know why I didn't have a lot of Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games. That shit was expensive.
I didn't realize this shit was that motherfucking much. And like I say, PlayStation 2 and shit like that was like 50, and some of them were 60, but like 50. I remember games being 50, and some of them might have been 60. So 90, like holy fuck.
Yeah, I think around the mid 90s they started to decline, but early 90s and shit.
That's wild.
Yeah, I think mid to late 90s it did get closer to the 50, 60 mark we got used to. But yeah,
No
now
wonder
it's
Biggie was
70.
like he couldn't picture that shit. That's expensive than a mother.
But yeah, I remember seeing like angry video game nerd looking through like old sales circulars and shit and being like, "Holy shit, the games would cost this much." But yeah,
And that's like I
the
said,
old
that's
game
90.
consoles, we were like people flipped out when the PS3 came out and it was $800 or
Yeah,
$600.
yeah.
And that was still a lot. I was one of said people, so much that I had a meme going on for like about a year and a half that every time I mentioned the price, the fucking I added 100 because it would be an angry rant. So whenever I'm talking about how expensive it is, I just would end up adding 100. It was like up to like $4,000 at one point. It was like this fucking $4,000 ass system.
How much was PS5 when it first dropped? Do you remember?
Nope. Probably like 600 or 700. Probably about the same as a PS3, which was the same as the PS4. No, but I'd say actually I think the PS5 was more about 500 or 600, which was about the PS4. I don't think anybody went as high as that, but $600 or $700 consoles. And
Mm.
there were $600 or $700 consoles back then too. They eventually realized that's too much, and especially once the mainstream ones started selling better, they were like, "Yeah, we can sell this shit for cheap. We get the parts of that, yeah, $200, and the return on this investment, we can sell this at a loss." 360, I think, was Microsoft realizing that with their consoles that they can just sell them at a loss and they'll get their money back. Uh, PlayStation, I think, was technically selling it at a loss, but then I think they removed some stuff to make it sell for cheaper, but at the cost of people being mad that they're removing stuff from their consoles. Like that's part of the original reason they got rid of the backwards
I
compatibility.
was just about to bring that up. Yep. 'Cause that was the big thing was when you buy a PS2 and you could play PlayStation 1 games, but then you bought a PS3 and you couldn't play PlayStation 1 games.
You could at first, but that was expensive. So they're like, fine, you want it to be cheaper, but taking that feature out. And so they did.
Because I assumed when PS2 came out, and as groundbreaking as PS2 was, I assumed that it had backwards compatibility, and I just thought, oh, that's dope. PlayStation is going to make it where you could play every game leading up to whatever current system you have, all the way up to that system. So I thought PS5, you could play PlayStation 4 games, 3 games, 2 games, original PlayStation games on that bitch. I
Well,
was
five
like,
has
damn.
backwards compatibility with four.
Right. A lot. I think 3 had backwards compatibility with 2, and 4 had with 3, didn't it? Like they all had the one previous.
I think so, but and now they have stuff like streaming, game streaming or downloadable things that port it to the new console for it. For instance, I've done it a couple times on stream by now, where I've been playing Legend of Dragoon, a game from back in the day,
Yeah.
as an RPG that I never finished. And because I've always liked dragons. I know, big surprise. I've always liked dragons, but so a game called Legend of Dragoon seemed interesting. Couldn't afford it, didn't buy it. In college, I tried it out. I got to a certain plot point in the thing, or a certain cutscene shortly after the character with black armor joins the party. If you played the game, you guys know what I'm talking about. But there's a cutscene that involved them talking about something, and there was an ellipsis over the character's head. And I came up to, based on the ellipsis, I came to a random hunch. Somebody more or less confirmed that hunch to be true, and I lost interest because it kind of spoiled it for me.
I think you told me about this. But either way, yeah, like you figured something out about the game way before you were supposed to, and it spoiled the story.
Yeah, well, I felt like it spoiled the story. However,
Okay.
let's see if it actually did. Because it could be one of those things that still would have been more impactful if I didn't know about it. Because I will die on the hill that a story is always better when it hasn't been spoiled first.
Yeah, who doesn't? Well, aside from my
No,
dad. No, I'm
yeah.
saying no, because my dad is like the only person I've ever met my whole life. My dad is the one person where he is like, yo, it could be a fucking movie with a twist ending. He's like, yo, tell me about the movie first. He wants to know everything backwards, forwards, upside down, diagonal, crossways beforehand, and he can still go and watch the movie and have a good time. So, spoiler alert if ain't nobody seen it, but who ain't by now? Sixth Sense. If you would have said, "Yeah, bro, Bruce Willis was a ghost," he could still watch that movie and have a good time. He would actually get a little upset if he asked you what happened in the movie and you don't tell him that Bruce Willis was fucking dead the whole time.
Yeah. Like me, I never watched The Sixth Sense because I found out pretty much year one that was the twist, and I'm like, what's the point?
Right.
Now,
and honestly,
people are like, well, you can watch it the second time, and now that you know, you can pick up on all the clues, and it enhances the
didn't see it
vision.
the first time.
But I'm still robbed. And they could be 100% right. You are right. If you spoil things that happen for people, technically they can still enjoy it because they can see if it's well written enough where they leave hints to things. They can see the hints that are being laid as it goes. As someone who watches shit that he likes multiple times, a la shit like One Piece or Full Metal Alchemist, yes, rewatching, I can see the things and it enhances the rewatch. It is an enhanced experience now that I know what I have. But I at least got to experience the first time
Right.
the taking off my feet. When you spoil something for somebody, sure they could have that second experience and third experience you had, but you have robbed them of that first experience.
Because I don't know if you know me, if you know I've always said I love twist endings. If you heard me say that, maybe I don't know.
I mean, most people do.
But my favorite kinds of movies are twist endings because I hate to watch a movie and guess what's going to happen. And I love the feeling of watching a movie and just being smacked in the face with some shit I never saw coming. And then you put two and two together and say, oh, that's because this with this and the whole time this. I love that. So, yeah.
I like when that happens, but I also like being there. To an extent, I do like figuring it out. But if I do figure out what you do early on, and you do it in a unique way, or you do it in a way that's different enough that I still didn't see coming, because the twist endings in and of themselves aren't even twists anymore.
How you mean?
I mean, it's just as cliche as a normal ending to have a twist ending these days.
The thought of the twist ending, not so much the story of what might happen.
Yeah, well, yeah, but how you get to it may be different, but at the end of the day, oh no, this person betrayed this person, or this person was this person all along, or this person was that.
Usually
or
the
that.
second.
It's usually, or this was all part of my plan. Ha ha.
That's a big one too.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Those are like the 4 or 5. There's like, much like with stories themselves, there's a finite number of story points and story beats. It's just about how you get to say story beats. Like, it is nigh impossible to write a story that is 100% original, that no one has ever seen any of these story beats in their life, or anything like it, or will ever see anything like it again. Like, there's nothing like that there, but you can still have unique stories because of the way you do the tropical things that you do.
Well, there's just some stuff that just over life, because of what we have been exposed to. When I say we, I mean us as just people, and not even just Americans, but just people living in this globe, wherever you were born, whatever language you speak. There's just certain shit that we've just been exposed to from whatever medium, books, movies, music, that, like you said, there's a level of originality to it, but nothing is 100% original ever again. It just can't be. It just 100, because we're exposed to too much stuff. And if you do go down the path of being 100% like original, then you like, and I think we talked about this on another episode too. Then you get to a point where then your stuff loses a certain level of comprehension, that your audience is just like, okay, this is original, but what in the fuck am I fucking watching in the first place? What, like, I know I brought this up. Shout out to James Rolfe Angry Video Game Nerd Cinemassacre, where he was talking about, I forget the name of the motherfucking movie, but it was like the dude walks up to the door. It's like some dude walks up to the door and like they show this porch of this house and the guy walks up to it. The whole time this camera's panned real far back and it's slowly zooming in ever so slowly. And then the dude walks up to the door and like falls down or some weird shit and something like that. And it's like, this is the fucking movie. And it's like, yeah, that's a 100% original idea. The fuck is going on? So if you, because the thing is, we have talked about this a little bit anyway. But the thing is, no, if stories follow a certain beat, they're going to follow beats. You're going to introduce the characters. You're going to have the characters go along their daily life. Everything is always assumed that there was life beforehand. So we never actually follow them from birth. And if we do, then we assume that there was life before they were born. But everything is always assumed whatever happened beforehand. Then we introduce the characters. Then they go along their life. There's some rising action getting to the conflict. The conflict happens and how they deal with it. And then there's the fallout. And then this is how the story ends. That's everything. So nothing is 100%. And of course, yeah, you have your tropes of coming of age, man versus man versus nature, shit like that. Romance, like love story type shit. Like when it comes to songs, you could have a song that is absurd as fuck, where you could hold a motherfucking note randomly or do some crazy shit. What did I listen to? But that's why songs have the structure of verse, chorus, bridge, outro. Otherwise, yeah, you have to just. It can be different how you get there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's within the originality, there's definitely tropes that are unoriginal within the originality, because otherwise we all, once we get to a certain fucking like age, and that's a young age. When I say age, we get to like 6 or 7 years old. We all have a certain way that we expect stories to go. That's just how it is. So now I 100% agree with you on all of that. But I do, like I say, like some twist endings that I say are like just unmatched are shit like Memento, the first Saw. I think the ending to Fight Club. Now this is controversial. I like it. I think it's a little bit forced. I like it a little bit forced. Skeleton Key, shit like that. Like those are twists where it's like, oh shit, we obviously were born in a world where Sixth Sense is a great ending too, even though you know what happened. But we were born in a world where Soylent Green and Empire Strikes Back twists were already spoiled and said a million times before we could even experience what the fuck was going on. Mm-hmm. Oh shit! I never had spoiler alert if y'all don't know those movies I just named. Anyway, but I've never even seen the movie. I never had the pleasure of watching Soylent Green and being like, oh shit, it was people the whole time. Mm-hmm. Soylent Green is people is fucking everywhere. So, and then of course, by the time
as such, I never watched the movie. Like I know the point.
I've never seen it. Right, exactly.
The plot is they ate the shit Soylent Green and it turned out to be people. Ooh.
And seeing it the first time was probably fucking mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. But by the time we were born, it had been fucking about 2 decades, if not like, 2.5, whatever the fuck decades before we were even born, let alone got older to understand what the fuck happened. Where everybody was already saying it.
Mm-hmm. I remember a friend of mine years ago started getting these like meals in a bottle called Soylent. There's supposed to be a healthy thing called Soylent. I'm like, you know what they named that after, right? I'd be hesitant to drink that, given the namesake. I feel like that's just telling us in real life, hey, we're feeding you people. Don't be surprised.
And then what was I gonna say? And then Star Wars, like we were born in the timeline of the prequels. So we go back and watch the originals, and by the time we go back and watch the originals, everybody already knew who the fucking Luke's dad was. So that big twist, apparently, watching that, you see the sequel. You say, Episode 5 was much better than the original. Oh shit, I still think that the original Star Wars is one of the best movies ever. But anyway, episode 5 was much better than the original and shit. And you see that shit, and then imagine that you see one of the greatest movies of all time. You see the follow up, and they saying it's better. Oh shit, that's his dad. By the time we were fucking born, we was like, they fucking said that shit a million times. So, but I love, like I said, I love twists. Shutter Island was a movie that I remember watching in the theater. I think I might have seen it with shout out to Big Bro. I think I saw it with Ibn. That was a movie where I predicted the ending, but I still had a good time.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one where Leonardo DiCaprio's in the woods and all the snow and stuff? Shuddering?
He's a detective. Thought you were being for real for a minute. Did you see me? Did you see me catch myself when I realized that you were being a fucking asshole?
He like he was being a just the immediate cut off.
Cut myself off.
Yeah, Shutter Island. He's on an island in the woods with a bear, and it's cold and he's shuddering.
Well, the movie with the bear was The Revenant.
Yeah.
And he won an Oscar for that, and his portrayal was good, but that was almost like they were giving him back pay. Like, Leo, our bad, bro. Take this Oscar for all the other times. But no, Shutter Island, he was a detective. They were trying to figure out like this. They were on him and Mark Ruffalo were detectives, and they were trying to figure out like this murder, and they were like uncovering all these secrets and shit about trying to figure out who like committed the crime. So yeah. I won't give that one away because it seems as if you haven't seen it. And that movie's not bad.
So Leo fights a bear?
I'm telling you, that's The Revenant.
Is that what you were talking about when you said you won't give that away?
I won't give away Shutter Island.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear anything I just said?
It's filled with chills and thrills because he's a detective with a camera. Shutter Island.
Can you find any more ways to make
sure? Is it about window shutters? Is that what Shutter Island's named after? I'm pretty sure it has to do with like the camera.
He can. We got three shutters. One of them was D's instead of T's, but I'll allow it on my Mills Lane celebrity.
Yeah, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't act like I don't know how to spell shutter when it's cold.
I mean, what'd you say? You say Leo was afraid of he was afraid of bodies of land. Shutter. See? Because it had D's. I went along with you. Huh?
Fair.
Anyway, no, like I said, Leo won for The Revenant, but that was back pay.
Same Shutter.
Everybody said it.
Cold.
Huh?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. Everyone said it was back pay for The Revenant, and I agree.
Okay, what the fuck
are you agree. I'm just agreeing with you.
It sounds like you said some other shit.
I'm just agreeing with you.
Not how your ass could be where you'll be like, I stared at the blue wall and ate a paint chip. Like, what? Nothing. Like, okay.
You ain't eat no paint chips.
No, that's never. But no, I think that Leo could have won for a fucking Oscar all the way back to motherfucking What's Eating Gilbert Grape when he was a fucking little boy.
Didn't see that either.
He played a mentally challenged, the mentally challenged brother of Johnny Depp.
Was he Gilbert Grape?
No, Johnny Depp was Gilbert. Johnny Depp was the main character.
Okay.
It was about What's Eating Gilbert Grape is an amazing movie. But it was about a family in like this rural area of town. Gilbert Grape is the oldest like kid, and it's who's Johnny Depp, and it's the oldest kid, Gilbert Grape, who basically looks after his younger mentally challenged brother. I think he had a sister, and then of course their mom, but their mom is like bedridden because she is morbidly obese, and it's just him again. Another trope in movies is his want for more. his yearn for something different, a new way of life, shit like that, and all this stuff. They live in a small area town, so everybody knows about him and all this shit and everything. And it's like he's still coming of age because I think he's like 18 or 19 at the time, might be 18, something like that. He ain't that old, and he has to look up. He has to look after his family, but he also wants to go out, try to have a little bit of romance, try to, be his own man, try to do this. But he's like, damn, I gotta balance, this life back and forth. And it's actually a really great movie. Like, it's not slice of life. Slice of life is a different type, but it's just almost just like everyday people, just also living shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everyday people.
Who made this song, Pete?
Not me.
Me either. Who made this song?
I don't know.
I mean, you just cut me off in the middle of what I was saying with. I mean, clearly you have to know who. I said you have to know who made it. I ain't say you had to convulse while I was singing. What the fuck was that? Maybe you shouldn't sing that shit. Maybe you don't need to be singing that song and make you do that shit.
Everyday people.
Fly in the Family Stone.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
How quickly you said that.
That name, though I have heard it before, not part of my lexicon of, oh, I need to guess who sang this song of theirs. Well, who sang this song?
My mom, who, being older when she had me and my brother. Your mom was older than normal when she had you as well, but grew up in the house listening to a lot of stuff from the 70s and shit. So my mom played one of the bands that she played here and there was Sly and the Family Stone. So I grew up listening to some Sly and the Family Stone, I'm everyday people. Thank you for letting me be myself again.
Oh, that's them as well?
Huh?
That's them as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sing a simple song. That one. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Hot fun in the summertime. Boom, boom. Hot fun in the summertime. I could learn what I want to. Out of school.
Nice.
Hanging here in the countryside. I told you off camera I auditioned for my first musical.
Yeah.
It ain't no wonder I get. I'm joking.
I'm assuming you went low for any singing that you had to do.
Well, and you're assuming that I didn't sing like this in this fucking audition.
Well, as one who sounds similar when he tries to go that high, my usual go-to move for auditions for musicals is to go low. Like the first... Go ahead.
No, I was listening to what you said.
Oh, like the first musical I ever did, and it ties in with me choosing the acting path, was for Guys and Dolls. I went to audition for Guys and Dolls Junior at my middle school. And I didn't know shit about Guys and Dolls, one or the other was. I just knew I heard the play existed. But I was like, I did some acting in second grade. Maybe I'll do this. Went to the thing. Sore throat the morning of. And I had always been told, because I was a little kid, I was a late bloomer. Took a long time for my voice to drop. It dropped? Shut up. Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
It took a long time for my voice to drop. And so I was to me, because I like to, contrary to popular belief or in support of popular belief, I had a lot of more confidence in my abilities than I may or may not actually have. So I'm thinking, I'm a good singer at high pitches. My voice is like scratch and stuff because I was sick. But here's the audition. I mean, the play's in a few months anyway, at the time, obviously. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to audition. I can barely talk. So I came up there, I'm like, what do I need to do? And I mean, they had the song Guys and Dolls, and I've already said I'm not the best singer, so whatever. And you've heard me do 130, 40 episodes at this point. But the song was the titular song, Guys and Dolls. We had to go up there to sing a couple of lines from it, you know. I'm just paraphrasing the singer right now, but it was a bit higher than I was trying to go. When you see a guy reach for stars in the sky, you could bet that he's doing it for some doll, you know. And I was like, but there were people, like I said, this is 7th grade, 8th grade. All of us, if our voices are dropping, they're just now starting to drop. So most people are high pitched. I went up there, I'm like, I'm not gonna hit the high pitched, and I'm like, I gotta do something. When you see a guy reach for stars in the sky, you can bet that he's doing it for some doll. When you spot a John waiting out in the rain, chances are he's a John, it's only a John can be for a Jane. And then I was like, haha. And then I ran to the fucking bathroom in embarrassment. And then Bill and Bill's been on the show enough, so it's been stated that I've known him forever. This is within the first or second year of me knowing him. Back then, him and I believe I've called him Tom Cruise on this show. Him and Tom Cruise come and find me, and they're like, "What the fuck was that?" I eventually got cast as Nathan Detroit, the secondary lead. So that was cool. None of my songs were actually that low for the fucking play.
Like written low originally?
Yeah, none of them were low, and nor sang in the thing. I was like more, sue me, what can you do me? I love you. As opposed to, sue me, what can you do me? I love you. That wasn't me, because at the end of the day, I've never been like a bass. People keep telling me to put some bass in my voice. I ain't a bass singer. So there's that.
I remember I was taking singing lessons when I first started doing like the professional side of acting here in STL. When I first started doing like switched over. And I was like, well, you know, let me take some singing lessons. I didn't stick with it because I didn't want to do it. But at first I was like, let me take some singing lessons to see, you know, what's up. And the woman who was teaching me on how to sing and everything, she really knew what she was doing. She was like artistic director of a local theater company, like ran the company as well as, you know, was a fellow actor around town and whatnot. And she, was like, yo, not just to me, but anybody, I'll give you lessons if you want to, you know, pay a little fee, give you lessons. I said, well, yo, I'm new to this shit. Let me learn what the fuck I'm doing. So I was like, well, and I love her. So of course, you know, let's see what she got. So I went, first of all, she broke music down for me in a way to sing nobody else had. But then she told me that with my voice, she was like, I'm not a bass. Cause a lot of people are like, you gotta be a bass. She was like, you're not a bass. She said, I'm not a bass. She said,
you're baritone at least.
My lowest note would be a high bass note.
Okay.
And I basically am a baritone, right?
Yeah, that's what I ended up being, pretty much.
Because she was like, yeah, she said most people who are bass, she said you could tell because when they talk, their talking voice is very low in the first place. Like, how are you doing, blah? Which, right, yeah, duh, of course.
I mean, your voice is deeper than mine. So that's why I'm like, I would have assumed bass, but baritone, I'm like, there's no way you're higher than baritone. I mean, you could be on some like right. Prince shit, just...
When I first heard Prince talk,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could be on some Prince shit. You don't have to be beautiful. Yeah, when I wrote that song, it was
Wait, what? Like that's the funniest thing to me is that you never really heard Prince sing in a low register.
Yeah,
not ever. Like if he chose to sing falsetto, okay. You never heard him sing in the low register though.
I never heard him but I also do not know that much about
I don't know
the Prince
whole
catalog.
Good
I
point.
know Doves Cry, Kiss, and a couple of other like hits.
Apparently, he got a song called "Pussy Control," which I didn't know, but I mean, of course he does.
Of course he does. I'm about to say, if anybody does, I could see Prince talking about Pussy Control. But yeah, in high school when I auditioned for Little Shop of Horrors, I didn't do. This is the second musical I'm doing, so I didn't think to go to my old standby if I had because I had less confidence going into high school in my singing abilities, despite having already been a co-lead in a musical. But I mean, it's a middle school musical. Can you really count that? But the bottom, I mean, singing talent wise, I was still in a musical.
Okay,
Singing talent wise,
like you right here.
everybody's in middle. Everybody in middle school, you know, where I just mentioned, a lot of people's voices are going through changes. There's going to be there's some wiggle room for the singing, you know, less wiggle room in high school. So I went into it, I was unconfident in how low I could sing, but I probably should have gone more for that during the auditions to get the fucking plant role. But I still got a role. Orange Scrivello, DDS.
Were you originally going for the plant?
I was going for anything other than Orange Scrivello, DDS.
I remember seeing you do that, and I thought it was so. I mean, not that you hated it. I'm not saying you hated it. I just didn't know that. Yeah,
I'm fine. I'm clearly fine with having played the role of Orange Scrivello, DDS. There are reasons that would be obvious to you if you thought about it for half a second as to why I wouldn't have wanted to play Orange Scrivello, DDS. I'll explain to you.
Only thing I can think of, and I mean, this could very well not be it, but you're the black dude and you didn't want to play the dentist because of like he's white as hell.
I will talk to you. I will explain it to you off camera. It's
shit.
You're thinking about it too hard, but I don't want to say it on camera.
Oh, that's fair. The fact that you never call him the dentist, though, is funny. You never call him the dentist. Even on other episodes, when we mentioned him for a second, you never say, I played the dentist. You always got to say this motherfucker's full ass name every
title.
Like, every time. Like every time. Even when we said on other shit, you just say, it's like for like a fleeting second. You never say, yeah, I played the dentist.
Oh, that's how you know it. Clearly, that's how you know I actually played it. I'm so used to just Orange Scrivello, DDS.
This whole time you've been up here, you said every fucking syllable of that shit every time you said it just now.
Fair.
Anybody else would say, yeah, I played the dentist.
Yeah.
Who were you in Little Shop of Horror, the dentist? Like, no, you fucking, whatever his first name is, Cavello, DDS.
Oren. His first name is Oren.
I couldn't tell if you were saying orange or orange. I'm not even being funny. And I knew his name wasn't Orange. Yeah. So that's why I want to say it.
Yeah. Bottom line is I did that. I wanted to play the plant, though, because the plant looked like it would be the most fun. But I thought that I would be a Seymour. Because, so there are two reasons. There was one main reason I didn't want to play Oren. And again, I'll talk about that off camera. The other reason, kind of a douchebag, but he's also the cool guy, and I didn't think I could be a convincing cool guy. I'm like, I'm a Seymour. I need to be Seymour, because I was already on my I need to be the lead actor type shit anyway kind of mentality. Even though Bob the Tomato in high school was always a bit more accurate on what roles I would get. To certain things.
He could like tell you what you were going to get and be right about it.
He called Orange Scrivello DDS. He called Herbie Rainwater into face on the barroom floor based on a simple joke, and we're friends. Bob the Tomato and I are as close as me and Bill are. Bob the Tomato sees me in high school, and he sees the role for Herbie Rainwater. Herbie Rainwater, and we're looking at the roles, and he's like, look at this role. This is the role for you, Herbie Rainwater. He has a stupid grin on his face because he's stupid. And I said, aha, that ain't gonna be me. I got cast as Herbie Rainwater. And I was out there with my stupid grin on my face every
And
day.
what's the pick that we've used consistently throughout for your branding?
Yeah, I went out there with the stupid grin on my face every day. I embraced it. I was just like, dang it, Bob. Why?
Now, that's one I didn't see you in it. I don't know why.
It was freshman year.
Oh, okay.
It was freshman year. It was before Little Shop.
We saw you in Guys and Dolls in Little Shop, yeah.
Yeah, Little Shop. Yeah, freshman year I did Play-Doh and Rebel Without a Cause. I was in a one-act. I don't remember the name of it, but it involved us like trying to buy some lifelike doll on the stage who was played by a real actress. And my character was infatuated with the doll. That was weird. But I was like the younger brother character out of everybody for that one act. And then Face on the Barroom Floor, which had that director not retired from teaching at that school that year, I probably wouldn't have been cast in anything going forward because I missed a very critical cue that day, something I've never done since. But I missed a I heavily, it's not even so much I missed the cue, it's more I missed the being on the stage.
Oh, you missed the cue to come out.
And half the scene went, and then another person was missing it with me. Yeah, it was not good.
You don't want to talk about it?
We were watching Whose Line Is It Anyway during intermission, and no one came to us to tell us intermission was over.
Oh, no! So they just had to do the scene without you?
They were doing like half of it before some people found us and told us to get the fuck out there.
Oh,
yeah, it was not good. But we recovered. We didn't get cast in whatever the fall play was for sophomore year. Didn't get cast in any one acts. So I did some like tech work to try and get some points that way. And then I luckily got cast in Little Shop, which revived my acting career in high school.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I came very close to my career being over before it even fucking began. And me trying to find something else to do in my life. I mean, you know what I mean. Anyway,
and at least for high school, you say you came close to like losing points with the teacher or probably getting cast again.
Yeah, well, I probably would not have been cast by that director. Luckily, the other high school director, big fan of mine, and I mean, and very supportive, mentor and all of that as well. Shout outs to Mr. P. But yeah, and he was a supporter going forward sophomore year and onwards. But anyway, I ended up being Orange Cravello DDS, who also didn't do a lot of low singing. He didn't do a lot of high singing. However, if you listen to a lot of the like soundtrack things, there are some higher notes that he's supposed to hit in some of the songs that I'm just like, that's a little out of my range. But he's more of a mid-range singer or a baritone type deal.
But you the dentist only has a song in Little Shop, right?
He has two.
Well, I know he has.
No,
I am your dentist.
All right, he has, You'll Be a Dentist, or Son Be a Dentist, whatever. The dentist song, if you will. In the play, It's Just the Gas is a song between him and Seymour. It's the song that leads to his death. Yeah, it's his dying song.
Okay.
And then he shows up in the finale song. Oh, sorry. He shows up in the finale song for certain because, spoilers about the play, the bad guy wins. The plant does. And during the big finale where they show it, the heads of like people he's eaten throughout the course are singing the song, and they have a couple lines as well. And the song is called "Don't Feed the Plants." It's the finale of the thing. Mean Green Mother from Outer Space is more known because of the movie, but that's not part of the play originally. The other thing, now something in the script happened. It got cast with a better replacement. I'm not saying anything about that, but in the script, during the song "The Meek Shall Inherit," wherein Seymour, wherein the main character gets approached by a bunch of people trying to make money off the plant. All three of those people are supposed to be the actor that plays Orange Crivello DDS, going in and out, changing outfits and coming out and playing another person. Like once, Skip Smith, William Morris Agency. I forget the lady's name, but she's like the editor's wife was one of them. And then the third one is please meet you. Something. No, William Morris Kids Agency. Oh, why do I remember the last one? Whatever. He's like, forget the cable we sent you. It's nice to meet me. The pleasure is yours. Now let my firm represent you. We want to book you on lecturing tours. College campus Rotary Club. Blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is that those are other roles. Those are other things that the character or the actor could sing. But for that song, we just had Niz. I mentioned him on the show as Niz. He did the two male parts for that song. And we had, I think it was the person who played the mannequin from the year before that I was talking about in that one act. She was the editor's wife for that.
So y'all went ahead and got different people instead of the same.
Because it's a high school, why not? Get everybody more roles. I mean, we double cast it anyway. So one cast did one night, one cast did another. So I was one of the Orange Crivello DDSs. There were two Seymours, two Audreys. But no, I had fun with it. Junior year, we did Grease. I didn't get cast in any of the singing roles, and the one day I could have ganked the singing role from somebody who wasn't showing up to a lot of rehearsals, but they knew I knew the thing. Unfortunately, that is a higher register song, and I was sick for that rehearsal.
So your voice was not going to hit that?
It was the song Those Magic Changes. I was like, damn, I could have probably ganked this song.
To this day, I've never seen Grease. Because we didn't see you do it, I guess, when you were in it. I don't know why. But so I've never seen the movie, and I didn't see y'all back in the day.
Mm-hmm. I like Grease. We also double cast Grease. We had a brown cast and a green cast. And some of us, may have thought we were our own hot shit and may have called ourselves a different color cast. And anything might have came out of that, he said.
Is that where it came from?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much the awards that we had for our high school, like theater department, were at post Grease were going on. And there were brown cast awards and green cast awards, and there was a table involving, I'm pretty sure, involving people that were not myself or Niz or Tom Cruise. Oh no, it was Bob the Tomato and Larry. For now, I'll just say Bob the Tomato and Larry. I'm not sure what real names I've gone with when I've mentioned the cast of characters and stuff in the past. But the bottom line, those two were sitting there. They said it was the Orange Cast. I joined them very quickly, like around that time, because we're friends anyway. I'm like, oh, Orange Cast, that's what we're going with. We're the Orange Cast. Niz was there as well. And so we pretty much founding for eventually Tom Cruise and... I don't think I had a name for this guy. I want to call him a nickname, but it would just be his fucking actual name. Whatever. And 90s. Okay, I'm just gonna say a name. I'm gonna say Swan. Swan was there too. He joined the group as well. He's just a real cool dude. Him, Tom Cruise.
No, I just don't know who you're referring to, but it doesn't matter.
You had not met this one. Oh no!
Oh, really?
No, you didn't, because he wasn't even there in December.
Oh, snap.
A couple years ago. He was the one that couldn't be there because he was on the other side of the country.
Oh shit!
He has moved. And married and has kids, and he's living a nice life. But still.
What's up, good man?
You hurt yourself? Yeah, I hit myself too hard.
Damn.
You would think I hit myself barely, but I hit it just hard enough on a spot that is sore.
Sore definitely makes sense. Other than when I played Emmett Till, rest in peace, of course. And yes, everybody, without but yeah, I played Emmett Till in my first role ever acting ever on stage. Other than when I played Emmett Till, have you ever seen me acting anything? I mean, I know we did the summer where we did the whole film thing. But I think the way things went, you never got the opportunity to really see me act. Because I got serious in 2012.
Definitely not as an adult.
Yeah, we got serious, and I got serious for real in 2012, and
not as an adult. I haven't.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, you never really seen me do a show.
Yeah,
such is life.
Yeah, but to go with my whole auditioning with low voice thing, senior year, choir teacher and a lot of people in the choir are like, we have a guy shortage. We need guys in the choir. You should be part of the choir.
Real quick, apparently having a male shortage is a thing because I hear that when around with like my friends with shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently that's like males just don't audition for real for stuff. Go ahead.
And again, not saying they're wrong, but is what they were saying. We have a guy shortage. You should join us in the choir. And I'm like, I can't sing. What are you talking about? I don't want to be in the choir. And then apparently one of the teachers that had left before apparently saw me at Guys and Dolls, wanted me to be in the choir, or told my mom that he wanted me to be in the choir in high school. And if my mom told me, whoop, went in one ear, out the other. And I'm like, well, I should at least try by senior year. But I can't sing. So what am I going to do? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm just going to go low and wing it. So I took a song from The Plant, Supper Time, went in there. He's got your number now. He knows just what you done. And I got put in the show choir and concert choir. So that's my go-to for like singing something. I'm like, I'm just gonna go low and see what happens. Because I can't do no real notes. Now, but I can wing myself in. You need a guy to replace that guy shortage in your choir. You need a body. You got me.
Damn! Don't say you just a seat filler. Goddamn.
That's what it was. It was a guy shortage. That's why I got it.
But you basically sold yourself as I'm an Oscar. I'll put it this way. When the A-lister has to go take a piss, I'm that guy. Like that's what you.
I mean, I'm in the bottom half of singers within the Orange Cast. Free.
Well, I know one person definitely has put out music that is really fucking good. So
Niz, better singer, on par if not better actor. Tom Cruise, clearly better in the acting department. Definitely a better singer as well.
I don't know about the singing ability. I'm not going to go into the acting competition with any of them.
Swan, much like Niz and Tom Cruise, musician, singer, not better acted though. I got that. I will say I'm top 3 in the group with acting.
I'm not gonna go into this acting thing with you and any of them, but what's the name? I remember back in the day.
I'm not the funniest though. That's Larry.
A certain someone played Mr. Mushnick and sang the hell out of that, so that's not singing. So that don't count.
He in the bottom half with me.
So that's my guy.
He in the bottom half with me when it comes to singing in the Orange Cast.
And his sing was on point, and he sold that shit in character and made it work. But he didn't sing that shit. Mm-mm. He sold the fuck out of it.
Nah, he down here with me.
It worked. It flowed. It was dope. We're both
better than Larry though.
So you talking about you in the bottom half, and then
there's 6 people.
No, but I mean
3 people better.
No, I'm saying you just
3 people that are in the bottom half and 2 people in the bottom half with me. That's 6.
But you made it seem like it was gonna be like I'm in the bottom half and I'm the bottom of the bottom.
No,
you just like
he in the bottom of me. I said we're both better than Larry. I'm about on par, maybe better than Bob.
You were extremely literal, basically.
Yeah.
The bottom half, you were extremely.
You know me.
No, for real. Like I'm not like you were very literal. You were like the bottom half. Like what the fuck?
I'm in the bottom half of the looks department too. I'll let you determine where I rank in that. It ain't bottom.
Well, I don't know the Swan dude.
What that's about? I'll put it this way: Swan, Niz, and Tom Cruise were all in a fucking musical group with each other, with chicks screaming at them and shit. Been to their shows when they were just the cast. Didn't go that far though, but so they were still all good. They're all you know. They all got the triple threat, you know. Actor, singer, musician, look good. So I guess quad threat. Like they just had all the ladies going over to them. That's all.
I'm just gonna throw this out there because I'm not getting involved in whatever this is that you're saying, whatever. But I am gonna throw this out there just to say however true or not that is, and I am completely being Switzerland in this shit and staying neutral as fuck. But you took two other motherfuckers down with your ass when you said I'm in the bottom half of the list. Instead of just saying, you basically were just like, hey, by the way, y'all motherfuckers ugly too, like that.
Bob the Tomato has said it on camera that he and I were both in the other half. We know
you
this.
Let him dictate to you that
we
you
know this. Nigga, I'm Big Ugly himself.
Okay, well,
Feo Grande. Do you know what Feo Grande means?
Yes, I do. A certain tall gentleman might not agree with you as much. Why he got to be lumped in that?
Because we're speaking objectively here.
But that makes it more fucked up. I don't agree with you. Well, objectively speaking, you was an ugly bitch. Like, that's fucked up.
Hey, it ain't about being a bitch. No one called nobody a bitch.
Objectively speaking, you ugly. That's fucked up.
Well, no, and one, I didn't say he's ugly. I said we in the bottom half of the looks department. Of the 6 of us, there were 3 who were clearly better looking than the other 3. It just is what it is. The proof is in the pussy that they get. Okay, the proof is in the pussy. The amount of pussy they've gotten comparatively. Now, to be fair, Bob and Larry gotten more pussy than I have. So you could say I am the bottom in the looks department.
But
I don't, but you could. You could. There's an argument to be made. There is an argument to be made, but the bottom line is all 3 of us is on this bottom half.
You didn't fall on the grenade. You pulled the pin and then ran next to them and hugged them with you.
You're damn right.
Let's blow up together.
Damn right, brotherhood.
And then just because
if you can't be honest with your brothers, who you gonna be honest with?
And just that's fair, but in this situation, just because Bob was like, "Hey, we both look idiots together," don't you agree? Larry ain't said shit.
Nigga, I ain't. You keep saying hideous. Less than those 3. I say I'm ugly, but I can say I'm ugly. I ain't say Bob the Ugly Tomato or Larry the Ugly Lizard. I just said Bob the Tomato and Larry the Lizard. I ain't even used these niggas' real names.
So objectively speaking, Larry's a good-looking guy?
I mean, proof is in the pussy. He's got more pussy than I have. So, clearly he's doing something right. You ask me, I look better, but clearly I'm not objective on that. I got some bias.
So
However,
Larry, watching this,
despite how little women may want to see my face, if you want to see my face, you guys can watch us every
I was gonna find a way to do it.
If you want to find me, if you want to find me elsewhere, you can find me elsewhere on YouTube on the channel Feo Grande. That is Feo Grande. I do shows over there with a good friend of mine, a good friend of the show, Bill Smith. He knows some of the people I was talking about, so he'll be able to explain that to you as well. But yes, we talk about movies and stuff every Tuesday with whatever we want. Not whatever we want. Jesus Christ. So many fucking shows. So many shows. All right, yes. This guy hasn't seen. It's a show we do every week, every Tuesday. This week, I believe we just did Sonic the Hedgehog. After which we're doing Some Like It Hot. Marilyn Monroe and Du Bois. And then we got another show on that channel called You Don't Watch Sports. Two guys talking about sports, helping you sprinkle some information into your sports conversation as we're your guiding light to the sea that is sports talk. I also have a Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. Streaming a lot more in 2024. Jazz, got anything you want to say to the folks?
Of course I do, you know it. So I am a rapper, so anywhere that you would like, I'm a rapper, so anywhere that you stream your music, go ahead and look me up under the name Super Jazz. That's going to be spelled Superjaz. I dropped my debut solo album back in 2021 called My Secret Identity. You might have to put in Super Jazz, My Secret Identity, because I'm not that famous yet. Also, go ahead on Twitter, look me up under the name Super Jazz 2. That's Super Jazz number 2. And of course, look me up on Instagram under the handle Forever Super Jazz. The word forever is spelled correctly. Also, last year, 2023, in June, I had the inaugural show, which was titled A Colored Funeral, for a new production company for plays that I started, Aquarian Rising Productions. So to stay all up to date with everything with my production company, go ahead on Facebook, look up and give a like to the page for Aquarian Rising Productions. That's Aquarian, not Aquarius. And I'm this close. I'm going to be announcing the season. I'm this close to that figurative ink drying on those pages I keep talking about. Just got to finalize a little bit more, just a wee bit more. Then I'll be announcing the season for Aquarian Rising Productions of 2024. So stay up to date with everything by liking that page. Again, Aquarian, not Aquarius. So, Pete.
Yes.
Why don't we go ahead and let them know what the hell we're going to talk about next time?
Whatever we want.
Hey, whatever happened today, tomorrow's a new chance to try again, y'all.
Be happy, damn it. Adiosness.